In this video, we're going to be replacing two 1-inch Hydro Rain valve actuators with new Buckner Superior 800 series brass valve actuators. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is shut off the water main to that valve manifold. Here, I'm going to be unthreading the union on the brass body so that I can remove the entire valve assembly from the risers. I tried unthreading the actuator, but the seal wasn't cracking on it. I'm going to carefully move that valve assembly out the way and grab that washer there and put it to the side, just so that I don't lose it. I'm going to grab my pipe wrench and I'm going to put it on the opposite direction of where I'm trying to unthread. Hold that firmly and twist that valve assembly off.
For us, it's like, okay, well, do we break the law and get the job, or do we do things right and, you know? Oh yeah, when I was in private maintenance, and all of a sudden the kid ate the little chips of paint.
I'm going to go ahead and remove all that used Teflon tape from inside the valve assembly. Let's get that out the way. We'll be using new Teflon. Now this section of the video was cut off a bit, but what I'm doing here is I'm going to grab my pipe wrenches. I'm going to grab the actual actuator right there. I'm going to hold that down and I'm going to hammer lightly that brass body in the opposite direction to unthread it, break that seal and get that unthreaded there. All new valve actuators come with a little seal, a little O-ring on there. I'm going to go ahead and put that on, make sure it's flush, make sure it's clean, make sure it's all the way towards the back, and just get that in there nice and cleanly. I'm going to grab that brass valve body and just lightly thread that in there. Nothing crazy, just so that it holds, and then that way I can screw it back onto the riser. Now here I went ahead and put new Teflon tape on that Schedule 80 nipple. Let's go ahead and re-thread that in. When you feel that resistance on that valve, you know it's nicely threaded in there. I'm going to go ahead and grab that seal from the union again, put that in there carefully. I'm going to carefully move that back a little bit, try to align that, and get that going in there. Now here I'm going to keep threading that union and moving that valve back and forth, rocking it so I get that union to actually catch on and grab. And I'll be grabbing right there somewhere. Go, and then that valve will start to go in. Go. I'm going to go ahead and grab my pipe wrenches here. These are MCC lightweight pipe wrenches, and I'm going to just lightly thread that in there. Once I get that last twist in there, I'm going to go ahead and align that valve. Now I'm going to clean the inside plastic seal of that lateral side there. I'm going to put the cap on there, make sure that metal pin inside goes right in between that plastic part, and just screw that in lightly. Grab your pipe wrench and just give that a twist towards snug. You don't want to over tighten it, but get that in there. Now I'm going to grab my channel locks and just give that a little bit of twist. Go. Here I'm going to close the bleeder screws to pressurize that chamber there, and I'm also going to be closing down the flow control stems on these valves. Once you close down those flow control stems, you want to open up the water, slowly let that line fill in. You don't want to do it too fast or else you'll get a water hammer and you can break fittings. Once that water's on, you're going to want to go ahead and verify any threads on that mainline side just to make sure there's no leaks. Now's the time to tighten anything. Everything looks good. Now I'm going to slowly open up those flow control stems. Even though there's no water rushing out, it just going to slowly open up those ports there. Go ahead and grab your valve solenoids, put those on that stem there, put that locking screw in there, get that threaded, hold down that solenoid securely. You don't need to over tighten it, just hand tighten is more than enough. Now we're going to move on to the electrical part of this. Each solenoid has 2 wires and the station wires here, which are 3, 1 common, 2 station. We only use professional waterproof wire connectors, so these is a smaller kind here. Carry various sizes. That's a medium size, larger size. They're grease filled or gel filled, whatever you want to, whatever you prefer to call it. Now in this system, the original design, they use the black for common and they use that red and that faded yellow for station wires. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the solenoid wires. I'm going to peel off that pre-spliced rubber section. Now we never use the same connections as before, so here I'm going to go ahead and just cut all those connections off and make brand new splices on that. I'm going to cut about a 1/2 inch of wire and just get those new connections on there. I find it easier to do the common wire stuff first, so I grab one solenoid wire from each valve. I splice that together, just twist that together there. Then I grab that common, which in this case is black, and just splice that in there. Now I'm going to grab my wire cutters here, or wire splicers, to just tighten up that last end there. Grab my medium sized waterproof wire connector and just thread that till it's tight. Now it's easier for me just to grab the second solenoid wire from any station. Just go ahead and give that a quick twist and grab your station wire. Just twist that. I find it easier to take care of that common wire first. Just get those out of the way. Here I want to use the smaller ones. Now these are King Innovation wire nuts, professional grade. I'll just grab that second station here. Now both stations water the lawn, so it doesn't matter what wire you use. One station will be 4 and one station will be 5. It doesn't matter. Now if you have a shrub, a tree, or whatever, and you already have them pre-programmed in your controller, then you definitely want to take a look at what wire goes to what and do it accordingly. Of course, you can always just go to the controller and readjust the times depending on what's watering what, which is what I find easiest. Just go ahead and grab those wires real quick and just tuck them in somewhere. No big deal. Just tuck them in there. Once you got all the electrical, you're going to go to the controller. Obviously, it's off right now. We're going to go to manual station on this controller. We know it's 4 and 5, so we're going to just double check 4. Put that bad boy on run and check to see if it worked. We ended up checking both stations. They both work perfectly fine. In this last clip, I just went ahead and grabbed the wires and just zip tied them to the backside, just so they're kind of out of the way and tucked neatly. For more videos like this, check out our YouTube channel or check us out online at www.landpronet.com.